Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 49 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Ilan Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co-host,
Nicholas DePasco. Every week we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week we're going to be giving you our review of Spider-Man Brand New Day, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, what's poppin'? Where we run through the biggest movie stories this week. What's up, guys? How we doing? This is a very exciting episode.
Yes, sir. Ski.
I'm super excited to be talking about this movie. Spider-Man's a very important character to me. He's, these are movies that I grew up with and have always really affected me. So this is going to be the first one that we're reviewing on this podcast, something I'm really, really excited for. And then also we just have a lot of other really fun, a lot of Marvel stuff to talk about, to be honest. And then a little bit here and there, other stuff. So just for context, we typically start out with a box office. However, I'm going out of town on a trip, so we have to record this episode a little bit earlier than we typically do, which means that we don't really have our box office info to go over. However, I do have some headlines that Spider-Man Brand New Day has made in its first few days of release, which I think are really cool and worth talking about. So, Spider-Man Brand New Day officially made $72 million on its Thursday night, which breaks the old-time record of $60 million set by Avengers Endgame, which is incredible. But that isn't all, because in its opening day, which is Friday, it had the biggest domestic opening day of all time, with $168 million, only from the U.S. That's not counting everywhere in the world. So this movie is doing crazy. Mm-hmm. The word of mouth, I feel like, is so good. I've already seen it twice. I'm going literally after filming this. I'm going to be watching it a third time. Super rewatchable film. This is easily going to be the number one movie of the summer. Probably the number one movie of the year. I think the only possible ones are Dune or Doomsday, but I mean, I don't think they're going to come close to touching those, to be honest. So yeah, that was it. Just crazy, biggest all-time record for Thursday night, and then domestic all-time for Friday, which is crazy. I mean, it's making stupid amount of money. And I know the hype for this movie was high, but I feel like it's weird for this to be the Spider-Man movie that's going this crazy. I feel like No Way Home going into it had more hype. Am I wrong for thinking that? I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely, there is more of a reason for No Way Home to have that bigger box office number. But I think all things considering, time, we've spent how long has it been since No Way Home? Probably 5 years.
It has been 5 years. Yeah. And also No Way Home was 2021. That was kind of still COVID.
True, very true. And also just people know, I feel even general audiences, they have an understanding of No Way Home being kind of the end of that Spider-Man story, and then Brand New Day, also because it's called Brand New Day, but Brand New Day being called being a new beginning for Spider-Man. People are interested in that. People are oh yeah, let's see this new Spider-Man story. I feel if this film was continued to be directed by John Watts, and he continued whatever narrative, if he even had one, if he continued whatever narrative, it wouldn't have played as well. It wouldn't have gone to such a big audience as that it has right now.
Oh, John Watts, man. They're gonna be dragging his name on the streets for the rest of time.
They sent him to Guantanamo already, bro. He's done.
Oh my god,
he has never been seen or heard of since Thursday. Since
the things I've been seeing on the internet, part of me feels bad. Part of me is bro. But I mean.
No, I mean, listen. He gave us one.
You made your bed. Now sleep in it.
He gave us one good Spider-Man movie, which is Homecoming, and then after that, it was Marvel slop. Let's see what Destin Daniel Craig has in store, because he's given us one good Spider-Man movie so far. Let's see what's up with the next one. So they've all done their fair share. They've all done their fair share, yeah. I believe.
Yeah. So just crazy opening for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Moving on. I have some X-Men stuff to talk about, which won't be the end of the X-Men conversations in this episode. I'll just leave it at that for now. But, X-Men auditions have been happening since May. We've been talking about rumored castings for X-Men. I told you guys I think that we're getting our cast announcement, or at least some cast members announced at D23,
Yeah.
which is actually 2 weeks from yesterday. It's August 14th, is like the Disney announcement panel. Instead of like every like Star Wars having their own panel, Marvel having their own panel, at D23 they just have one long announcement thing where they go like section, like subsection of Disney by subsection, making their announcements. So we have Deadline, which I believe this is the only X-Men announcement that is like locked in by Deadline, which is like Deadline and Variety are like the big
kahunas,
scoopers. Yeah. We have our Emma Frost. Samara Weaving has been cast as Emma Frost, with more announcements expected very soon, as I said, likely at D23. So there we go. We have Emma Frost. I'm a little surprised that she's going to be in this movie. I'm saying as if we know absolutely anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not upset at all. I think Emma Frost is a cool character visually. I think Samara Weaving is great. Casting. And if we're looking at the other like rumors that we've been having of Kaylee Spaney as Rogue, Charles Melton Beast, Mr. Sinister Adam Driver, what's his name? Patrick Wilson, Mr. Xavier.
Yeah.
Professor Xavier.
All rumored.
This is shaping up to be all rumored so far, except this one, which was reported by Deadline.
Yeah.
Really cool cast. I feel like they're really pulling out, the big stops, which I'm not surprised. X-Men are a big deal. We've been waiting for so long. Yeah, what do you think of Samara Weaving as Emma Frost?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as surprised by her inclusion, just because, and we'll talk about it more when we actually talk about Spider-Man as well, but I can kind of see the story that they're starting to weave with X-Men. It's definitely going to be, very basic, X-Men versus, I guess, humanity. Two teams of X-Men being, like, Team 1 being Xavier, Team 2 being Magneto. I feel like Emma Frost fits very cleanly within the Magneto team, and for whatever narrative they're going to do for the first or maybe even trilogy of the X-Men movies, it makes sense to me. And yeah, I think she's great. I think if they got like a bigger name, I'm glad that they went with Samara Weaving. I feel like this is maybe a little shitty on my part, but I feel like people think of Samara Weaving as like Walmart Margot Robbie. And she's very talented.
No, man, she's a scream queen in my opinion.
No. I mean, she's incredibly talented. I haven't seen her in that many things. The only thing I've really seen her in was that one movie with the comedian guy. Fuck, I forgot his name. From the guy from How I Met Your Mother. That came.
Oh yeah, Jason Segel.
Yeah.
It's 1 o'clock, motherfucker.
I mean, yeah, like that's what I mean when I say I've really only seen her in that film and maybe some other thing that I can't remember. But just from that movie and just like from other like interview things and just like other things that I've seen of her, she has a sense of humor. She has a grit. She has like a certain ability to both like, have that like, I guess, sensual Emma Frost energy while also, being assertive and, not necessarily as... I really hate that I'm comparing these two actresses, but for lack of a better word, not necessarily as princess as Margot Robbie gives like the kind of vibe of. So yeah, I don't know. I think Samara Weaving was a great pick. Also, she's not as big of a name, so they can still build her up.
She is a big name. I mean, I think you're discrediting her.
She's like a B to C list actor, in my opinion.
Okay,
like she's not. Margot Robbie's like A list. Yeah, okay, B. We could agree with that. So like, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. I'm into it. I'm into Samara Weaving, and I'm into this story that they're weaving. Get it? Especially, that was awful. I appreciate. No. Listen, I'll be here all night. But yeah, no, I'm into it. That's pretty
good. I'm going to be very disappointed if D23 comes and we don't get X-Men casting because, certain things happened this past week where I think we're in a very great position to start getting X-Men stuff.
Mm.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
All right. Next piece of news. Kinda got a death certificate on Blade this week. Mahershala Ali has officially confirmed that he's moved on from Blade, saying, quote, "I have moved on. I'm good. You had me under contract. If they wanted to do the movie, they would have done the movie. So we're not doing the movie. They didn't want to do it, so they should answer that question." And then it says here he trained over a year for the role, which sucks. I saw the clip from Deadpool and Wolverine of Wesley Snipes saying, "There's only ever been one Blade, and there only will ever be one Blade." And, I think that seems just a little bit funnier now.
Absolutely.
Knowing this, which is unfortunate. I was really excited for Mahershala Ali Blade. And I think now with the Ghost Rider movie, I think that could have been a really, safe place to introduce him, but it seems Mahershala Ali's done, so... I don't think we'll be getting... I don't see them recasting. I just don't think we're going to be getting Blade anymore.
Kevin Feige does not care about black people. No, listen, it's tragic, no Paddock. Listen, I really wanted that Blade movie, especially with Mahershala Ali, and also, I'm sure I'm jumping the gun a little bit, and you're gonna mention this.
Wonder Man?
Yeah, Wonder Man.
Yeah, that was my next thing. Disney Plus has canceled Wonder Man, reversing its earlier season 2 renewal.
Yep. That's the real tragedy for me. I mean, I'm rather with Blade, it's a movie. Movies get announced and canceled all the time, especially considering Marvel. It is really sad that we didn't get it, but what it is, it is what it is. The tragic thing, I really do think the real tragedy here is with Wonder Man, and I can only hope that the reason Wonder Man got canceled was so that Daniel Destin can continue to work on bigger projects. But it's just tragic, really, because there is a space, there is a want for both of these films, not and just for the fact that Kevin Feige, I don't know whether he's too busy or straight up just maybe didn't want to make the movie. I don't know. I'm trying to be as I guess objective with this and trying to give Kevin Feige some sort of what is the word I'm looking for? Credence. I'm trying to give him some. I'm not trying to be as critical to him, but also it's kind of shitty to announce a film and to announce a new season for especially these stories that really haven't been highlighted as much in popular media. And there's like I said, there's a space for them, and to just pull them out of thin air it's incredibly shitty. And I just wish the best for Mahershala Ali and his new film, Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother, which apparently will be using his sword training or whatever training he did for Blade.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Listen, yeah, he's a great actor. He's an Oscar-winning actor, so he's gonna still have a flourishing career.
For sure.
But it is really, really unfortunate. It's just a movie. I think Blade's a really cool character. So sucks. We'll never see this interpretation. And all we have, I think this also just puts another level of stink on Eternals, because it's that was his
I've
only.
Completely forgotten about Eternals. Holy cow. So is the rest of the world, other than you.
No, I tried. That movie sucks. Anyway,
I'm a rare Eternals defender, by the way. I don't think it's a good movie, but I respect the vision. That's my take on Eternals.
Yeah, the vision was better. All right, so that's it for the Marvel stuff for now and before the review. But I do have a couple other interesting things. It was reported earlier this week that David Jenkins, which was the writer behind Booster Gold, that he pretty much said that Booster Gold was not going to be moving forward at DC. And so, or at least his version of Booster Gold was not going to be moving forward at DC. And so that for a couple days made it seem like the project was dead, which is something I thought might be the case for a while now. But then last night or earlier last evening, it was reported that Booster Gold is actually still in development in DC, and they're just hiring a new creative team with no actor being cast just yet. So at least for right now, it seems to still be happening, just with a different creative team than was originally planned. So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Let's hope it actually gets off the ground this time. I'd love to see Booster Gold. And also, I really like. I know this is incredibly theorized, and there's a bunch of actors and whatever, but honestly, my pick for Booster Gold would be Kumail Nanjiani. I think, speaking now that we've mentioned Eternals, I think he does have like a good comedic ability to
I love
be the
Kumail
booster.
Nanjiani. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I think
I
that'd
love
be great.
Kumail Nanjiani, and I think him and Zola Maraduena would probably be a good uh, like mix on screen because
Yeah.
Blue Beetle and Booster Gold are always super intertwined. Although I know that he's like intertwined with like Ted Cord, not Jaime Reyes, but
Hmm.
whatever. I'm sure they'll interact.
Real quickly, I
So
know we moved
yeah,
past this already, but I do hope that the Ghost Rider film that's coming out, I do hope that leads some sort of pathway for a Blade film because they would work so well together as characters. And I don't know, maybe we even get a Midnight Suns movie. That'd be cool, right?
I
Uh,
mean, yeah, that seemed like a smart because it seems like a lot of the Midnight Suns characters they don't seem to know what to do with. Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, Blade. This is like a great chance just put them all in one movie.
yeah, for sure. I don't know, we
Yeah,
love to see it.
yeah. So this next thing is something I found particularly interesting. Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach are ready to start writing Barbie 2. They won't share details on the concept or start writing until the deals are finalized for themselves, Margot Robbie, and Ryan Gosling. David Zaslav hasn't signed off yet because he thinks some of the offers are, quote, too generous. Offers include a percentage of gross profits if it's successful, on top of upfront fees. Ryan Gosling, for example, wants $20 million. Mattel will reboot Barbie without Warner Bros. If no deals are reached by December. If they do reboot, Mattel cannot use the same talent or story elements at another studio, so they're going to have to start from scratch. And if a deal is reached, it would still take years before the film hits theaters for many reasons. Um, but yeah, I remember when Barbie came out, Greta Gerwig, I feel, was like pretty set on not doing a sequel. So I wonder what ideas she has for a Barbie 2. I really like Barbie, so I wouldn't mind a sequel, but I'm just curious what they would do with it.
Same. I'm also like a big Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig fan. I think more Noah Baumbach just because like his films have hit me more personally, but Greta Gerwig is great as well. And yeah, I don't know. Honestly, just give them all the money they want. David Zaslav is a greedy fuck. So, no, I mean, I get his position to some extent, but I think Barbie was the hit making machine that it was, the money making machine that it was. So and I didn't know about the stipulation about them if they needed to reboot it, they wouldn't be able to remake any of the or reuse any of the like actors or assets or ideas.
Yeah, like like completely new creative team, new concept, new story, like everything, like from
Yeah,
scratch.
that's insane,
So
and I don't think Mattel has it in them to make another successful Barbie movie like that without any sort of I think Barbie was as successful as what it was because of how kind of edgy it was for a Barbie film, even though it wasn't edgy, but like just the themes that it touched on. So I know that Mattel remaking it, they would play it safe, maybe have like some sort of similar thesis as the original Barbie, and then yeah, just like make it the Walmart Barbie. So yeah, just make Barbie 2, just like Greta Gerwig have her Barbie 2 and have all the money that she needs for it, because let's be honest, they do not know what they're doing, especially with Masters of the Universe, which I have not seen. But I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. I mean, they're building this whole like Mattel cinematic universe, Masters of the Universe, Barbies, whatever. I think Matchbox is another movie that from Mattel, ironically enough,
the
directed by
John
Sean
Cena one,
Levy.
right?
Yeah. Wait, let me make sure that I said that right, because I just said it was directed by Sean Levy, and I'm not entirely sure if that's true.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
I think so. Let me fact check myself. Directed by
I know Sean Levy did the.
He didn't direct it. Sam Hargrave directed it. But what has he done? Why did I think it was Sam Levy? Okay, whatever. Well, I'll correct myself on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. They don't know what they're doing with their films. They don't know how to market their films. The majority of Mattel properties are for boomers and for millennials. Like us, or I guess Gen Z, doesn't give a fuck about Matchbox or Barbie or Masters of the Universe or whatever other bullshit they have in store. So they need newer, younger, interesting voices. I mean, even Greta Gerwig and Nora Baumbach aren't even that young, but they just need interesting voices to bake these films. And they just really got, they hit the, they got lightning in a bottle with Greta Gerwig. So to just let that lightning go would be tragic.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna follow this story like closely as it's progressing, because I'm very curious how this is gonna unfold. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I do hope a Barbie 2 happens with like the same people involved, because
yeah, for sure.
I just think that movie was really good, very well made. Yeah. All right. Two more things I wanted to talk about. Just they're both quick casting news. Michael Johnston, who plays Bear in Obsession, is in talks to join Brendan Fraser in Universal's Mummy 4. Cool. Happy for him. Love the whole cast of Obsession, and I hope that they're all gonna thrive. I did read that Indy Neveready is interested in playing Mystique. Oh my god. That would be a score for the X-Men movie if they got Indy Neveready in there, coming off of Obsession. That'd be really big for them. I think that'd be so cool if they actually do get that to happen.
For sure. Yeah, she'd be great.
Yeah, and then the second new casting is that Regina Hall has joined Dwayne Johnson and Benny Safdie's next film, Lizard Music. It's like that. We talked about this when this first got announced. It's like that movie. About a guy, I think he's with dementia, and then he's gonna stumble upon rats who lead them to a lizard or something. I don't know. It sounds super weird. But...
If I'm not mistaken, it's based on a book, and the plot is about a kid who discovers these lizards who make music in like their house or something like that, and then he has to find a way to go back to his world with the help of a chicken man. Played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So a completely unoriginal script. I've seen it before a million times. Benny Safdie, get more unique ideas. Come on. No, I mean it's this weird little film. I don't know. I'm super excited to see it. Also, just because it seems very separate from anything that either of the Safdies have made. So I mean, and yeah, Regina Hall being in there, put another comedian in there. It seems like a very funny movie, or like that's what they're trying to get with. So hell yeah, why not? I really do just want to see some sort of an image, and like a set image or like a concept idea.
Yeah, anything. I'm very, very, very curious, absolutely. Especially with Dwayne Johnson playing the titular Chicken Man. Or I guess not titular, but
I hope Dwayne Johnson goes back to making his comedic roles. I don't know how comedic he was in Moana. I feel like maybe the wig was kind of part of that.
Did you see the trailer for the new Jumanji?
I did, and I thought it was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, me too. I was like, bro, this looks great. I'm because I love the Jumanji franchise. I loved it growing up. I think those are fun, stupid movies, and I don't know. This one looks particularly interesting. I don't know. I am excited, and Dwayne Johnson looked really funny in it. I have to give him that.
For sure. I mean, I've only ever seen the first Jumanji with Robin Williams. I haven't seen any of the newer ones. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll give this one a try, especially because they're actually doing. At least watch
Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, which is like the first of the new ones.
Okay,
the sequel that came out a couple years after was like whatever, but just that first one is really good.
I have to be caught up with the lore of Jumanji to fully understand and appreciate all the references in the final film.
No, don't worry. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it just for itself.
All right, I'll check it out at some point, for sure.
Oh, that's funny. All right, that's all I have for news. Nick, is there anything I missed that you wanted to throw out into the air?
Just a quick update on the Warner Brothers news. It seems as though every day this deal is not going to transpire. Let me pull up something real quick. And I believe that the actual finalization of the deal has been pushed at least a year, or at least not necessarily legally pushed a year, but just the complications of everything. And there's so many little interesting tidbits that are coming out of this, out of the complications. Like, for example, it would cost Paramount $9.8 billion if the deal were to disperse. And also, both Warner Brothers and Paramount are racing to see which Friday the 13th... No, not Friday, my bad. Nightmare on Elm Street movie gets made first, with Paramount...
Oh, yeah, I did hear... I did see that.
Yeah, with Paramount wanting...
They're trying to, like, do a shot-for-shot remake of Wes Craven's movie.
Yeah,
Are you serious, bro?
Apparently with the Wes Craven's estate approved. Like, who gives a shit? Bro's dead. They just want money, bro. Like, let's be real. And then I believe Warner Brothers wants their own Friday... I keep saying Friday. Nightmare on Elm Street with, like, a completely new... Or not a completely new idea, but, like, some sort of actual remake.
Yeah, I don't see what the need is for a shot-for-shot remake.
I mean, it's just... It's just completely and utterly pointless, like every single... Like, most remakes.
Like, are we for real? Are we for real right now? Like...
I don't listen. Like, hey, that's why Paramount is the way that's why they're about to lose $9.8 billion. Inshallah, bro. Like, let's hope. Fucking hell. It's I don't know. I just really, every single time I hear more news about this deal not going through, it makes my heart grow a little two more sizes a little bigger. Because it's disgusting. It's disgusting the way that they're going about this. Everything also separate from actual filmmaking, the politics of it all, which we don't have to get into. But yeah, it's just, I would really love to see Paramount lose. And Warner Brothers, and obviously there's going to be consequences towards Warner Brothers as a corporation, as a media conglomerate. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's just hope that they still exist enough to make interesting films.
That is very, very fair. All right, so with that being said, that's it for What's Poppin'. Let's move into what we watched. Nick, do you want to start us off this week?
For sure. Yeah, so I actually saw I Want Your Sex this week, directed by Greg Araki, starring Cooper Hoffman and Olivia Wilde. And very interesting film. Very...
Quite the year for Olivia Wilde.
Sorry, say that again? Oh yeah, what a year for Olivia Wilde, truly.
Yeah, it's quite the year.
She's had a big ups. I'm very glad that she's come back from the good Don't Worry Darling slander. I mean, it's not slander. It's pretty accurate. It's kind of a shit film. But
no, I like that movie. Fuck you.
I don't care. But yeah, I just okay, going back to the film. It's a really interesting film wherein Cooper Hoffman plays he's applying to be like a studio executive for this like avant-garde museum artist who's like really obsessed with sex as her art pieces. So he ends up getting groomed by this artist into being into a sort of sub-dom sexual relationship, which blurs the line between relationship and actual loving relationship and workplace and whatever. That's kind of the whole point of the film. Point being, the whole thesis of the film is Gen Z is not having enough sex. Young people in general are not having enough sex. We're all very scared and very timid of the potential consequences, whether it be emotional or whether it be physical, with like health-wise. And Greg Araki says, have sex. Go out there, have all the bad relationships you want, because it's going to be worth it in the long run. And, whether I agree or not, it's neither here nor there. To have my opinion out there, I guess I agree. But also, I just think it's a very well-made film that has a very unique idea behind it. And I usually am against these boomer or millennial making films criticizing Gen Z. We've seen a bunch of them throughout like these past 2-3 years. I want to say, howdy, Editing Nico here. Just wanted to mention that the films that I was thinking of in this moment were Scary Movie from 2026, The Devil Wears Prada 2 from 2026, although I feel that this film handles that theme a lot better, and Outcome, directed by Jonah Hill, also from 2026. There are other films that have come out throughout this past year, and honestly past decade, that touch on this theme, but I feel like those 3 films are the most exemplary of what I'm talking about, and like the worst cases of it. So, yeah, Go back to listening to the episode, you freak. But yeah, so I think this film, I Want Your Sex, manages to pull that off in a very clever way, and also just manages to be a good, interesting film with a very, I think, what would be a relatable story for a lot of young people in our age, especially a lot of like young people growing into adulthood, going into these spaces where we're sharing environments with older people that have like all these different ideas, and then us, I guess, younger people have our own connotations. I wish I could be a little bit more explicit about this, but I'm not. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very timely film, and I do very much recommend it to anyone watching. It's colorful, it's unique, its writing is pretty good. You never really know where the story is going to next. And overall, I think it's great counter-programming for Star Wars, for Spider-Man. I'm just saying all the wrong things today. For Spider-Man,
it's all right. Don't be too hard on yourself, man.
No, I know. I really am just misspeaking on everything right now. But yeah, I do want
to watch I Want Your Sex at some point. I hope it's still playing when I get back from my trip. That would be super unfortunate if it's not.
You got to sail the high seas after. For that one,
I suppose so. All right, so I'll mention there's only really one thing I want to talk about this week. I rewatched one of my favorite comedies of all time, The Interview. Have you ever seen this movie?
I have seen The Interview like years ago, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, so if to the uncultured, The Interview is a movie starring Seth Rogen and Dave Franco, where Dave Franco plays essentially like a Jimmy Fallon type character, and Seth Rogen is his like producer, assistant, manager, whatever role you would, whatever it's called. And he scores an interview with Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea, and the U.S. government is essentially like, we need you to kill him while you're over there. Yeah, and this movie is hilarious. The comedy is so well written, so well performed. This is nothing crazy I'm saying. This is like a very well regarded comedy film, but I think this is definitely the type of movie that you should watch every few years just because it's so funny. I also don't know how this movie didn't start like a freaking world war. Like, it does not paint North Korea in a particularly good light. Yeah, I don't know. I love Seth Rogen. He's probably one of my favorite, directors and writers and actors. And this is like peak like Seth Rogen-ness. It's just great. It's such a great film, such a fun film. Yeah, there's a really good performance. The guy who plays Jimmy Woo in the MCU, what is it? Something Randall?
I can't remember. Randall Park, I believe.
Yes, Randall Park. He plays Kim Jong-un, and he gives such a hilarious performance, like both comedic and somewhat heartfelt. It's just great. It's a great film. Probably, easily one of my favorite comedies of all time, and definitely worth a watch or a rewatch if it's been a while since you have seen it.
For sure. I think, just real quickly from what I remember of it, I do remember really liking it, and I think the way that it pushes the envelope on not being afraid of like making jokes about North Korea or even like the U.S. I don't know how many U.S. jokes there are really, but just like I think I was more for the film as like a statement of like what we should be able to say or do and not let like another country like scare us off, because I know that it had either a limited release or it got completely taken out of theaters by the time that it came out, which was a bummer, but I'm glad that it stood the test of time and still is remembered today. And at the end of the day, no heavy consequences were made from it other than Sony being completely obliterated and hacked. But yeah, I don't know. It's a great movie, and maybe I would maybe say that like the story behind the film is more significant now than the actual film itself being just like a buddy comedy. But yeah, I don't know. It's a fun movie. I also recommend it to watch.
Yeah, very, very good. All right. I believe we can head into our main feature. Very excited. We're going to be reviewing Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm going to start with a quick summary off the internet. And then we'll start with our spoiler-free thoughts, then move into spoilers. It's me great. Here we go. Peter Parker devotes his life to protecting New York as a full-time Spider-Man, but as the demands on him intensify, the pressure sparks a surprising physical evolution that threatens his existence. Even as a strange new pattern of crimes gives rise to one of the most powerful threats he's ever faced. Nicholas, what did you think of Spider-Man Brand New Day?
I mean, listen, I cannot have an objective opinion about this film at this moment because I've only seen it once. And as you know, I'm also an incredibly big Spider-Man fan, one of my favorite superheroes of all time. I mean, who isn't really? Also a Marvel fan. So, I saw this film and I cried. So whatever it is, like objectively, I do have my criticisms of it, obviously, but it's always going to be like a 5-star in my heart. It's going to be a spiritual 5-star. Yeah, I don't know. It was a great movie. I guess it's a little long in the tooth, but I can't say that you could really cut out any bit because almost every single bit I feel was utilized to the furthest extent to either give us more Spider-Man, give us more Peter Parker, and just like establish both those characters, because I do consider them separate characters, deeper into this world, or also just giving us more peeks into the world of New York City at this moment in time. I do love the way that they characterized not just Spider-Man and Peter Parker and everybody around him, but just the city itself. The city itself was very much a character, and I don't know. I don't even really know where to begin to talk about this movie, just because it was so much that we asked for, that we've been wanting for. We want a street level Spider-Man movie, but it's also somewhat builds up the story. We want Peter Parker to be broke and homeless, or not homeless. Peter Parker to be broke and like down on his luck, but we also want him to like meet all these new characters and all these interesting people and whatnot, this and the other. Somehow, Destin Daniel Cretton managed to pull off almost everything, and he is our future, not even just Spider-Man director, but just superhero director. Like, honestly, I kind of trust him with whatever, with this and Wonder Man being his credentials, I kind of trust him with whatever.
And Shang-Chi, man. Shang-Chi's great.
Oh my god,
people do not give Shang-Chi its flowers.
That's my bad. I 100% should go back and watch Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi too. There you go. Absolutely. He just give him anything. Get anything. Let him pick whatever he wants, and let that be the most beautiful film of all time, because I know he can make it. But yeah, what did you think of Spider-Man, Alon?
So, I mean, obviously I loved it. I'm gonna be careful with how I talk about this before we get into spoilers, because I'm gonna be looking at this film in two different points of view.
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking at this film, but discussing this film in two different aspects. I'm going to talk about it as a Spider-Man movie, and I'm going to talk about it as an MCU movie, because I think it's a fantastic. It does a wonderful job at both, and it does really interesting things for both. But I think I'll talk about the Marvel part once we get into spoilers. So, as a Spider-Man movie, this is, after seeing it twice, I think it's my favorite one of all time.
That's heavy praise.
I think the places, I know, I think the places it takes Peter Parker and Spider-Man as a character is super interesting. It's more mature, I feel like, than we've ever really had.
Yeah.
With the character, I think the action was the best it's ever been. I think the cinematography was the best it's ever been. The swinging, I think it's even better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2 swinging. the fight choreography, the moves, the way he's moving, so spider-like. That's one of my favorite things about Andrew
Very true.
Garfield. He was, previously my favorite Spider-Man, and I don't know if I can give it to Tom just yet, but it's definitely a much more of a conversation right now after seeing this movie. I think this is where Tom really became Spider-Man. We're not bogged down by any of the Iron Boy Jr. stuff. He really really is Spider-Man. I was not crazy when I wasn't crazy about finding out that both Ned and MJ were going to be back in this movie. But I feel the way that they were handled was excellent. I think they really, really, it's probably the best Ned and MJ stuff we've ever had, in my opinion. I think they're so interesting. I think their chemistry is off the charts. I really love seeing like this new dynamic between the characters. Obviously, the spell changes everything in Peter's life. So he has new dynamics with them. Just super, super great. All the side characters were awesome. Obviously, Sadie Sink, which we will not discuss until we get into spoilers, so I'll just put a pause on that. But the Hulk was incredible. We finally have the real Hulk back. This is some of the best Hulk stuff we've gotten probably since Ragnarok, right? I mean, easily since Ragnarok. Maybe even better than Ragnarok. We don't, the Hulk isn't in this all too much, but what he is incredible. Like it really is so cool. Yeah, it's so great. He doesn't overstay his welcome. He does exactly what he needs to do to move the story along and also provide a really cool action sequence. I think the VFX on Hulk look really, really great.
Absolutely.
The best he's ever looked. There's this one shot where we get like a really close up on his face, and I'm like, dude, that's the Hulk. Like, incredible. Frank Castle, arguably the best he's ever been.
Really? Okay.
Maybe.
I did want to ask you about that because you're definitely more of a Punisher fan than I am. I mean, I haven't seen any of the Punisher solo stuff. I
really liked the way he was handled here. He's still very much the Punisher. He's not dropping F-bombs as much, but he's still, using his language. He's still doing his violence, his way of doing things. And I think that it adds an extra, like, interesting aspect to the action sequences because Spider-Man's kind of having to control Frank is really cool. Something I realized is that in all his other movies, Tom had somebody that was kind of bossing him around, somebody he was, like, controlling him. Homecoming, it was not controlling him, but like on top of him, right?
I get what you're saying.
The first one was Tony Stark. The second one was Nick Fury, / and Mysterio a little bit, and then number 3 was Doctor Strange. But here, it's almost like Tom Holland is taking care of Frank.
He's finally wearing the pants in the relationship. Let's be real.
Yes, and it's really great. It just shows how much he's matured. All his action was so great, so awesome. I mean, it's just crazy that there's a movie in theaters right now where the Hulk, the Punisher, and Spider-Man are all like fighting in one scene. Like that's just something I honestly never thought I would see, and it's so exciting. I'm definitely rambling, so I'm gonna throw it back to you. What else did you like about this movie?
Sure. I mean, something else. Even though I did mention how long it felt a little bit, I also do appreciate that length because, going back to what I said earlier about like how it's letting us develop more time with like these characters or with the different characters of Spider-Man and Peter Parker. We don't get a lot of, like, in just average MCU movies, we don't get a lot of characters in costumes talking to normal people. Like in a room, in an office, and whatever it is. We get a lot of that in this one. And I feel like that just enunciated both the comic book aspect of it. Because, I mean, that's what comic books are all about. Costumed heroes talking to regular people and having like sometimes big drawn out dialogue scenes or whatever, they're not doing action all the time. So I feel like not because of the scenes that we got of that in this film and also the length of it really did feel like a proper arc, like a proper storyline, finished complete arc with like several issues. You could see where like day 1 ends, day 2 ends, day 3 ends. And I just really appreciate that because, you know, so many of these newer comic book films are, what was the last one that came out? That's like Marvel. What?
Supergirl? Marvel was Fantastic Four.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess considering, well, Fantastic Four was good, so Supergirl not so much. But yeah, like
they've been on a good streak recently.
Yeah,
you gotta give them their flowers.
Yeah, for sure. But like that's what I mean. Where at least in their previous films, I for some reason I was thinking a lot about like OG Avengers in this movie, and I feel like a lot of OG Avengers is like them standing around sometimes and talking, but it's also like them standing around like other costumed heroes, so it doesn't feel as weird. Or there's the dialogue scenes are kind of shot or directed in a way that like has like heavy action, so they kind of like get through it. Like because they're like, you can almost feel the insecurity of like, oh my god, like audiences are getting bored. No, here they let you sit in it, they let you stay in this moment, in this conversation, and just like listen to what these people are talking. They take Spider-Man in his costume seriously, even though it looks silly as fuck to see him in a spandex suit talking to a guy in like a full suit and tie. Like, no, like it's like,
incredible.
You're gonna sit here and you're gonna enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
it's great.
I think it really adds to it that he's actually there.
Absolutely.
It's an actual physical suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's an actual physical suit. You can see it like curving around his ears and around his facial features. And it really just makes it feel so real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks incredible though. I mean, I haven't even mentioned the suit. The suit is
gorgeous,
phenomenal.
bro. Absolutely gorgeous. Holy cow.
Beautiful, and even like more beautiful in action, and just seeing it. It's just incredible. It's so. It really is the perfect Spider-Man movie. It really is. It really did feel like just opening up a comic book, like just in the middle of a run, and reading an arc. You know, like it really was great.
No, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to move into spoilers so we can kind of get into the more nitty gritty of the film?
I guess I did want to mention one other thing. And I forgot it. So we shall go into spoilers. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So this is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the movie and you plan to, which you should, now's a good time to click off because you want to experience the surprises for yourself. So, the X-Men are officially here. We have our first confirmed MCU original casting. Obviously, we've had a few, in Multiverse of Madness. They're coming back in Doomsday. But this is our first MCU, I guess if you want to count Miss Marvel. But she's not real. I don't count her, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what they're going to do with her when it comes to post Secret Wars. People are saying there's going to be...
I don't think we'll see her again, to be honest. I think all of the Marvels, like Maria Rambeau, Captain Marvel... I mean, unless they're gonna do like a Young Avengers, but I feel like that time has come and gone.
I mean, don't forget, she's technically a mutant. They did play the X-Men theme when they on her show.
No, so... I mean, realistically, if she is gonna be, in the future of the MCU, she's gonna be in the X-Men side of things, which is like whatever. I don't really care.
We'll see.
I don't really care about Miss Marvel.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, we have Jean Grey. She's here. Awesome. I think she was great. I think Sadie Sink is a great casting choice for Jean Grey. It is definitely a different take on the character than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Almost starting off kind of like villainish. But listen, like Jean Grey, does become the Dark Phoenix. She is one of those more like gray area characters. And she was just trying to do, what she thought was right against someone that like broke apart her family. So I saw some people like being confused as to why she's a villain, but I don't mind it. What I think is the most interesting thing, and something that I feel like the movie doesn't really address all that much, Spider-Man created the mutant inhibitors. That's crazy. That's a big development.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see the ripples of that throughout the coming films.
Yeah.
It's going to be...
it's very much understated. It's very much understated in the film. Like, they don't make a big deal about it, but, like, I think it's a big deal.
No, I think it was great when, like, Bruce Banner... Like, how seriously Bruce Banner was taking that when he was talking to Ned. When... He was like, bro, like, you could... this is genuinely, like, dangerous shit. You could control anybody. And he's like, yeah, but like it's gonna it's gonna work for me and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, oh my god, like I love the way that they're building it, where it's like, yeah, it's not really taken as a big deal other than by Bruce Banner, and then like in a few films from now, we're gonna see the effects of that. That's the MCU building that I once loved. That's what I'm used to.
That we used to, dude. Yes. Just that's what I'm saying. This feels like classic MCU. Like we are so back.
Absolutely. I will say, here is my I guess first criticism is I do still feel the undercurrents of modern MCU in this more classic MCU film. Like, especially with the Jean Grey aspects. I did like Jean Grey's own character. I do like the way they play her. I don't mind that she's the villain. I think it's interesting. I think it's a good introduction. But I was a little disappointed with the way that they just end her story of just like her skipping town. Not necessarily that they should have given us more or less. I just feel like it was a generally underwhelming, an underwhelming end to this like big, like chaotic, literally causing all of the events of the film. You know what I mean? She just is able to skip town.
Right.
I feel like,
I think it very much is. It very much is a tease. Very much drive on a bus going to upstate New York, which is obviously where the X Mansion is. Yeah. Part of me, I was sitting there, I was like, are we about to see the X Mansion? Like, are we? I thought that. Like, I thought maybe we were gonna get a logo or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily mind it. I just think I have to see how it's gonna be like handled in future movies. Because also the villain, William Metzger, he's like, he doesn't get arrested or anything by the end of the movie, so I'm sure he'll come back in the X-Men film. So I think it's just setting up for that. I
mean, but that's what I mean, though. Like, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I said I'm very curious to see how Spider-Man creating the mutant inhibitor is going to affect things going forward. With like the X-Men, I'm sure that's going to cause issues between certain mutants and Spider-Man. That's gonna be like interesting drama. And then obviously we already have like a relationship built between Jean Grey and Spider-Man. So I just think there's a lot of interesting dynamics that are being set up here that probably will be paid off for a little bit. Yelena's in it.
Oh yeah,
she was great.
Oh wait,
loved
real
seeing
quickly.
Her. Yeah.
That's kind of what I mean though when I say like that it is just like an underwhelming. I just feel like so much of this film had like big stakes. Even though it was street level, a lot of like all of New York City was frozen, or all of Manhattan, a significant chunk of Manhattan was frozen in time. We see all of these people go through like this, I don't know, possession system or thing. And I really just think that like I keep saying this, but it's underwhelming. An underwhelming ending to even though I know the purpose of it is to build up these characters and build up the future of the MCU. You can do both. You know what I mean? Like at the end of Avengers 1, for example, they captured Loki, and I don't entirely remember how exactly that pans out, but they captured Loki and the heroes won, and they stopped the universe or from the portal thing, and now we have the Battle of New York as like significant lore within the MCU. But they still captured the villain, and our heroes got their comeuppance. I'm not saying that they should have captured Jean Grey. I mean, I think that would have been a more interesting story, and then like maybe having her like escape somehow in future X-Men films, whatever they want to do, I don't know. But I just feel like the biggest the least powerful aspects of this movie are the aspects where the MCU is like digging in their claws to like, no, you can't have, because I feel like that also wasn't even the original ending. This is 100% me like schizo posting, but I almost feel like that one, but the bus shot, and then like the shot where like it's like a drone shot of like all the trees, and we see the bus like going down the road. I almost feel like that was directed by the Russos. Like it has that it had that certain like color desaturation where I was like, this feels like almost like a post-credit scene. But whatever. That's here to there. That's not confirmed at all. But yeah, I don't know. There's the potential for both. There's the potential to have a satisfying ending for your villain, and also continue to build up the MCU. But
right. That's fair.
Yeah, and I feel like Destin Daniel.
So you consider Jean Grey the villain? You consider her the, because I consider Metzger to be the villain of the film.
I consider to be, I mean, like, the antagonist. Yes, like she is the person causing all the problems towards Spider-Man. Like, Metzger is a villain, but he's not our central guy. You know what I mean? Or like,
I see.
That's
okay. Yeah. Interesting.
And yeah, that's kind of, and I'll talk a little bit more about like the MCU-isms about this film, but I want to give the microphone back to you for now. I don't know. What
yeah. So a couple other side characters I want to go over that I really liked. Yelena.
Yes.
Not just a cameo. Has a full scene and then like another scene. Like she's like a supporting character in this film, which is great. It really felt like old MCU, where the interconnectivity was just so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Scarlett Johansson was great as Black Widow, but Florence Pugh, I don't know. She is perfect in the role.
She's got it.
Yeah, she's great. She's so fun. And then hearing that she's like a really big character in Doomsday, like one of the leads, awesome. Hell yeah, love her. Loved that she was in a Russian banya on Brighton Beach.
Yeah.
Excellent. I grew up in Brighton Beach, went to Russian banyas there. So like hilarious. Like that was such a great touch. Her like jokingness, but also like, yeah, you're gonna take off your clothes. I gotta see that you have no weapons. Like she still means business while also like, being the playful. It reminded me of a lot of the Yelena stuff in Hawkeye, like her dynamic with Kate Bishop. Just great stuff. She's just such a fun character when she's interacting with other like young bright personalities, I feel like, because she has the young bright personality and then underneath is all this like Russian toughness. It's really fun. And I like how she's just so like on top of things. Like I feel like it gives more credibility to the new Avengers. I really like the small potato stuff and the big potatoes. That was all great. So funny. Just so good. I don't know. I really liked it. I really liked DeWolf. Like this cop character that was introduced, played by the lady from The Bear. Really fun. Love that he kind of has like his own Jim Gordon almost at this point. Also kind of reminded me of Yuri Lowenthal not Yuri Lowenthal. That's the actor. What's her name? The girl from the Spider-Man games.
Yeah,
like
I know
his
who you're
cop
talking
friend.
about. I don't
what's
know
her
her
name
though either.
Whatever. Yeah. Remind me of that dynamic, which is great. And I also know is going to break my heart when they kill her in a couple movies, which is 100% being set up.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me see. Any other aspects I wanted to mention? I really like the opening montage. All the comic covers recreations was great. My favorite is the Punisher carrying Peter into the hospital.
Yeah.
Love that. That was great. Let's see.
Something else.
Okay,
sorry.
Let's talk. I just want to talk about the Peter, Ned, MJ stuff. Now that we're in spoilers, I thought that was a really, really good emotional core to the film. I thought everything from the fake out scene where Jean's like possessing MJ, which recreates that one meme of Mysterio. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You're a good kisser, Peter, but also go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the whole moment was great. When I went to rewatch, so I saw it on Wednesday at the Amazon Prime screenings, and then I went Thursday night, and during that part, everybody was clapping because they thought they got back together, and I was like, ooh, they react, and then the collective gasp was just so powerful, and it made me feel ways that a Marvel movie hasn't made me feel in so long. Like that collective investment in the story, I think is really, really great. My favorite scene might be just when Spider-Man is interacting with Ned. They're building Legos, and then she's drawing them, it was just so great. It
Mm-hmm.
was so great, and it really made you feel like they're friends, and it really showed like you really believe that they were friends. Like, you know, he doesn't remember him at all, and yet their dynamic like is the same as it was. It was just so great, and it was such a good emotional core. I feel like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was also on the same boat where I wasn't a big fan of Ned and Zendaya coming back, or Ned and MJ coming back. But I do think the way that they did that they played them in this film was really great. The dynamic between all of them, I really love the development that we got between Spider-Man and MJ. You know, their whole emotional
Yes.
story, and like that one scene of both of them behind the curtain just like
Oh,
fed so many Marvel fans of like finally getting some
the
sort of
symbol.
euphoria towards their
Yeah,
relationship.
the symbolism of like, you know, there's like a curtain in between them, like there's something separating them,
Mm-hmm.
like it was just so great, like on a filmmaking level, and just the way that the movie was shot was just so
Oh,
great.
oh my God!
Like,
Don't even talk to me about the cinematography, bro. It was so cool the way that like, well, a little background. I'm a photographer. I live in New York. I'm a lot of things, but one of the things I am is a photographer here, and a lot of the shots that were of the like, city were like, oh my God! I literally took that picture. I literally like would have framed it the exact same way. I think I love the way that Destin Daniel does it, where he's very grounded in all of his cinematography. But that doesn't mean it's not interesting. That it means that there's a lot of angles. You know, it's a lot of shrinking, and I wish I had more technical terms, but it's just so good, and I love the way that everything looks like it was shot like from a person, you know what I mean, not like from a drone or from a crane or like a floating camera. No, like an actual person was
yeah,
in the room with them with the camera recording Spider-Man talking in a suit with another guy in a suit, you know what I mean, like
yeah,
I love that aspect. So good.
yeah. And I do want to point out it's incredible because it wasn't filmed in New York. It was
Yeah.
shot in Glasgow, in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not for a second do I think that it's not filmed in New York, and it's shows New York in such a more interesting way than any of the other Spider-Man film, the other Tom Holland Spider-Man
Ads
films.
included.
New York is really much a character in itself in this film. From the alleys that he's doing his things, the rooftops, it felt so much like the Tobey Maguire movies. Like it really, really did.
For sure.
I loved it.
For sure, absolutely.
Um,
I did want to mention
Let me see.
one other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is a criticism. I do think that we're falling under this pattern with MCU films. I'm thinking of Thunderbolts, wherein a lot of times the ending or the villain is talked down with like a therapy session. I don't think that's very interesting. I think it was interesting with Thunderbolts because it was like one of the first times that we saw that. I guess we've seen that with like other things that I can't really remember. But we're now falling into this pattern. Same thing happens with Jean Grey, essentially. And it it was definitely the most boring aspect of the film for me. Was
You
that
didn't like the
climax.
hand fight?
I liked the end fight. I didn't like the conversation that was had with well, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like that. Again, it was like a therapy speak ending where it was just like, oh, okay, we're just gonna talk, and all the characters are gonna be okay now, and they're all gonna learn their lesson, and we're all like good Samaritans. You know what I mean? Like, no, like
Okay,
I
I get that.
do think that, despite, there's room for both. There's room where we can have like this big ending. Maybe it doesn't even necessarily have to be big, but just like a dramatic ending that isn't necessarily two people talking in a room, and also have some sort of redemption for them that still fulfills both that satisfying conclusion of like seeing the villain lose while also potentially having their comeuppance. Again, I can talk about Loki. We had this whole, Loki was the villain for the majority of MCU, and now he has his own show, and now he's his own character. We never had like a therapy speak moment with him, I don't think, other than him talking to his brother Thor. And regardless of any of that, none of that was supposed to be like the climax of any Thor or film with Loki in it. that's what I mean. I feel like we're a little too afraid now, or the MCU is a little too afraid of, if they know that a character that they're building up to is a villain in one film, but they're going to turn into a hero or an anti-hero, whatever it is. I feel like they're too afraid to really either show them lose or show them beaten into a pulp. Not that I'm saying that should happen to Sadie Sink, but yeah, I don't know. I think there is room for both, and that was a big misstep in this film, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's fair. I will say my one complaint with the film, just so I'm not 100% positive, is the the brand placement. Obnoxious. And at some parts it did take me out, but whatever. It's not like the biggest thing in the world. Okay, I wanna ask you this. Do you think that Ned remembered Peter? Is that what happened at the end? What's your interpretation of the ending?
I think it was like a muscle memory sort of thing. I don't necessarily think he remembered Peter. I think Peter did the thing, and kind of like how Zendaya was, where she was like, to be fair, it was her to an extent. Kind of like how MJ was, where she was like, I have these like blocks of memory, and I don't know what's going on. I don't understand anything. I think it was that sort of situation. And then
okay,
I would like to see some further development in future Spider-Man or MCU films with Ned and Peter Parker, kind of like mentioning oh yeah, remember that time where we weren't friends for like a solid 2 year, however long the time frame was, but now
4 years. They go through high school, they go through college. That's 4 years,
right? Okay, so yeah, exactly. Remember that time where we weren't friends for 4 years, and now we remember everything. Like, I think that's really I think that's what it's trying to do. He didn't necessarily remember him, but it was more like, why do I remember this? Why is this a thing that I know how to do?
Right.
I liked it. Did you mind it?
Sorry, I like blanked out for a second. Mind what again? Sorry.
No, you're fine. Did you mind the fact that like it wasn't necessarily fully stated if he remembered or did not?
Okay, yeah. So my interpretation is, I think it also involves why MJ was crying when they were frozen. I think Jean might have unlocked something within their brain when they were the same way. Hulk was like, oh, she like broke something within me, or like, yeah. I think it might be something like that. And they'll dive deeper into that in the next film. But I don't know, because I didn't take the Peter as in remembering MJ, because MJ accidentally called him Peter when he was about to leave their window. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
If that was the case, I feel like he would have said, "Oh, Peter!" Like, as soon as he introduced himself, he says Peter after they do the handshake, and so I feel like that, it might have been like something, but also could be just muscle memory. I think that could be interesting too, and just seeing like their friendship start over, and seeing it get built up on screen. That's also an interesting way to handle it. I don't know. I'm very confused. I also think this could possibly be maybe an opening for Ned Leeds to become Hobgoblin. Like, he's upset at Peter for like almost abandoning him, and maybe that'll make him go crazy. I don't know. I don't know they'll ever turn him into Hobgoblin. But it is a possibility. It opens up that door, I feel like.
I straight up thought you were going to say they were going to build... I can't wait to see Ned Leeds built up to his own CEO of Sex movie. That's what my brain autocorrected to.
Oh, well, yeah, that's coming anyway.
Yeah, of course.
That's already in production, I believe.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I like that this movie doesn't feel the need to dumb down everything. It's at least things open for interpretation, and just, lets you sit with it, and yeah, like it trusts the audience to come up with their own interpretations of things, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of like in that vein, I also appreciate the fact that this film isn't afraid to change up some comic book aspects of these characters. like for example the Sarah Gray whole thing. I mean, to begin with, I didn't really even know that Jean Grey had a sister. Shows how much of an X-Men LARPer I am. But
yeah, she does, but she doesn't really have powers.
Yeah. And also, I believe she like lives to be like a grown woman, and then maybe something happens to her in the comics. But
she's not important from what I understand in the Jean lore.
Yeah,
she's not that important.
Yeah. But like that's what I mean, where I say I appreciate that this film, and another reason to glaze Destin Daniel Cretton, you know, he's not afraid to like change certain aspects of comics, or just straight up not even include them, or include the things that are necessary. Like, you know, I did criticize this scene, but I do think also that Marissa Tomei having her like own version of with great power comes great responsibility is also kind of like a very unique thing that I would like to see more of happening in the MCU. Not sticking to these books as if they're Bibles, but using them as inspiration and finding your own ways to fill in like certain gaps or fill in like story moments that we already know and love, but finding new ways of doing them. I just thought that was a really good aspect of this movie that I would like to see continued further into as the MCU progresses.
Yeah, I really like how, speaking of Marissa Tomei, that whole thing, because I guess the implication is that it's like right after she finds out that he's Spider-Man, right? That's like the implication, I feel assume. Like. Fun fact, you can see like in that scene, like to the right, like right next to the bunk bed, like the bag that he got the suit from that says, here, I think this is yours, TS. Just like a great like callback to that film. Yeah, I didn't notice it on my first watch. I noticed it second go around. I just thought it was great, and one of my complaints was always that we never really saw Aunt May's reaction to him being Peter. It just kind of got like honestly like ignored, almost like they just kind of swept by it. And I'm happy that they kind of revisited that and I guess kind of made up for that, which is really cool. I feel like.
No, for sure. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Maybe I'll have more to say next episode when I give it a rewatch at some point. But just overall, what a great picture. What a great Spider-Man movie. It really does feel like a new beginning. This could have been the MCU's first Spider-Man movie and nobody would have batted an eye. Other than I guess the MJ and Ned aspects of it all. I am just excited to see. I was of the team that Tom Holland is on his way out, or at least I thought he should have been. Now, you know, they're developing all this stuff with his mutation and like with his organic webbing, and you know they're still building his character, growing his character. Where I'm like, yeah, let's give him another trilogy, bro. You know, Tom Holland.
This is very much a brand new day. A fresh start.
Absolutely.
Which is so exciting.
He's gonna be in that suit until he's in his rocking chair. All right, so let's don't worry. He'll be
till he's 90.
Doing it till he's in his fucking grave, bro. All right, and then we'll still put his grave in the next movie.
Absolutely.
Oh boy, what a picture. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, so yeah, definitely don't watch Spider-Man. Kind of a waste of your time. You know, who cares? Another MCU slot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you can catch it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, just wait for Disney Plus. You know, maybe like or Instagram Reels. You know, wait for the Instagram Reels of like 30 seconds.
Ooh, yeah. I will say I did see the whole movie on Twitter.
Yeah, me too.
Somebody put the whole movie with captions and everything, and in good quality too. So, you could just find it online. But no, go watch it. This movie deserves to make all the money.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. All right. With that being said, that is it for episode 49 of Popcorn Problems. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and if you made it this far, you're the real MVP. We'll be back next week reviewing the movie about the one night a year single people are allowed to have sex, one night only. In the meantime, hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We will see you next time. Peace.
Have a good one.